And welcome back to Straight Talk. In March, Portland Fire and Rescue Chief Ryan Gillespie retired. It marked the second chief retirement from the Bureau in less than 2 years. What followed was a nationwide search for his replacement before landing on the newest leader for the 172-year-old agency. Joining us now is Portland Fire and Rescue's 41st Fire Chief, Lauren Johnson. Johnson was officially sworn in as the new chief of Portland Fire and Rescue in August of this year. She is just the fourth woman to lead the department. Prior to her move, Johnson served 26 years with the fire department in Dallas, Texas. Chief Johnson, welcome to Straight Talk. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you being here.
Sure.
So we've got questions for you. 26 years with Dallas Fire Rescue. Why'd you take the role in Portland?
I was really excited to look for a job where I could take the next step and become the fire chief. And there's only one job in every city that's actually the fire chief. So I knew I needed to start looking around. And when I saw that Portland had advertised that they would be hiring, I was really excited to learn more about the department. I was drawn to it pretty quickly. I mentioned earlier when we were just chatting that I was looking for a big city. And so Portland fit the bill for that, and it really checked so many boxes personally and professionally. I was interested in a big, busy department in a pretty part of the country, and so I was really excited to get the opportunity to come here.
Well, welcome, and you found those things, so that's great.
Yeah.
Sworn in August, what are your impressions so far? What stands out to you?
You know, it's been a really busy couple of months, I think even for Portland, by Portland standards. We've got great people on the Bureau, and I'm so thankful for having such a warm welcome. Everybody has been helpful and patient and willing to kind of go the extra mile when I needed extra explanation or background. So it's been a blast for me.
Yeah, you're coming in when we've had a few large fires too. I think we're just showing video of a huge apartment fire that you guys knocked down pretty quickly. That was a dramatic fire for sure.
Correct. I am so proud of the men and women in the department, their professionalism, their strength when it comes to performing during those kind of emergencies. They're amazing.
So the past few chiefs here have come up through the organization. You came from pretty far away in Texas. Yeah. What do you see? What's the difference that you see here maybe over Dallas?
Right. You know, some of the things that are different is really just the size. Dallas is almost twice the size of Portland. But that made it feel like it would be manageable to me, and so I was encouraged by that. At the same time, you know, we've got a much bigger wildland concern here, so when I'm thinking about strategies and tactics and really the conditions that our men and women are working in, there's some differences between what Dallas does and what Portland does. But then there are so many similarities that really made me feel comfortable. In terms of just how to run a department and to serve in the different areas in a department. I had those experiences in Dallas, and it made me feel really ready to come here in Portland. But certainly not growing up in the organization means, for good and bad, that I don't have some of the baggage and some of the knowledge that's been here. So I ask questions about that, but at the same time, I think one advantage is just being able to come in with a fresh set of eyes, different ideas, different experiences, and I'm happy to bring that to the table.
Absolutely. And you said earlier, you know, anywhere you go, firefighters are firefighters.
That's right. That's right. That was one of the things that impressed me the most was whenever I would reach out and try to make a connection with a Portland firefighter, it really was the same as talking to somebody back home in Dallas, and I'm so thankful for that.
At the time of this recording on Thursday, the 30th of October, we're on day 28 of a government shutdown. While Portland Fire isn't directly funded by the federal government, are you seeing any impacts from the shutdown?
You know, not directly. I would say grant applications are something that impact us. We had made an application for a certain federal grant and haven't heard back. They had just started making notifications before the shutdown. We're still hopeful that that would come through. It would help us purchase some advanced medical equipment that we'd like to put on the rigs. So in terms of a direct impact, that's it. But certainly any time that our community is impacted by the potential for, you know, less access to food, medical care, things that they rely on in terms of federal benefits, we're concerned about how that's going to impact our community and ultimately, you know, may see a change in the demand for emergency services and that would have an impact on public safety and Portland Fire.
Any other federal policy changes affecting the Bureau that you can see?
No, we've been, like you mentioned, just relatively insulated.
That's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. Although we could talk about a city budget, and I realize the Fire Bureau is probably a little more insulated from drastic cuts, but still affected, I'm sure, as you want to try and grow and do things for the community.
Absolutely. Budget is certainly a concern and top of mind. It's something that is a cycle that never ends. It's constantly on our mind. It's something at the administrative level across the city that we are working on. And it's important to me as a fire chief just to make sure that I'm a good partner and realize that you're right. A lot of times we do protect public safety bureaus from some of those drastic budget cuts, but then I still realize the impact that that has on other city departments and across the city as a whole.
Yeah, it's a big deficit for sure. So we realize you've only been here a few months, but initial impressions, what do you think is the biggest challenge the Bureau faces right now?
Yeah, so I think it's easy to see that it's finances, just making sure that the city is prepared to move forward and grow, and recognizing that the Fire Bureau is just one piece that's impacted. But certainly our budget is really the biggest factor that determines how much we can grow, what pace we can make in terms of changes.
Portland Fire's faced significant challenges with overtime, staffing, and facilities as well, maintaining and growing. What do you see there? What's being done to fix those issues?
Sure. I would say, the pace of retirements often outpaces how quickly we can hire a firefighter, which is really just somebody that hasn't been fully trained, and then get them through our training academy and get them ready to be an EMT firefighter when they go out to the fire station. That training period often takes longer and sometimes doesn't keep up with the demand. And so one of the things that we're doing for 2026 is coming up with a new training plan, and that should improve the pipeline so that we're able to put out firefighter recruits in a faster pace than we have in the past. And we're doing that specifically because we expect more retirements to come in 2026 and even 2027 that we need to be ready for.
Does the Bureau need to grow? I mean, do we need more fire
Absolutely, absolutely. So the calls for demand have continued to increase, and really the Bureau hasn't been able to keep pace with that demand, and is continuing to also find different ways to make sure that we're sending the right responder to each incident. And that might look like a change in our response models in the next couple of years, especially now that other city bureaus have come on with different responder options that may be a better fit for those people in our community who call.
All right, and that leads me right into this question about our fentanyl crisis here in Oregon.
Right.
Of course, we have rapid street response out there. You guys handle more major medical stuff. Obviously, respond to overdoses every day.
We do.
What challenges there in terms of, what do you see the role of Portland Fire and Rescue being there with our fentanyl crisis?
Right, so we've got a very small but mighty team that's called CHAT, and it's Community Health Assess and Treat, and they are very involved, not so much in the immediate response to an overdose, but in an aftercare capacity. And so we've got a special team that is able to provide medical treatment for people who are experiencing substance use disorders, who are going through withdrawals, and who want to be connected to treatment. I'm really proud of that team and can't wait to grow them because there's certainly a need. But that group also works with Portland Street Response and other city departments to try to address the fentanyl crisis, just in general drug use issues that we're seeing in the city, and be a resource for that community.
Right, and what you're talking about is so important, especially getting to folks before they're in big trouble and they're needing that emergency medical response, trying to get people help.
Yeah.
Got to ask you, I mean, what are you excited about for the future for the Fire Bureau? You just got here. I plan to have you as chief for a very long time. What are you excited about going forward here?
I'm really excited about the people in the department. I've been met with nothing but excitement about their future, how much they want to contribute to the Bureau, what projects they've got on the horizon, and I'm really excited to get to support them in those endeavors. I think there's a lot of room for growth in terms of making sure that we've got different teams that can, similar to CHAT, really meet the community where our needs are, as opposed to always sending the big fire engine, the big fire truck, all these firefighters. to every incident. I'm excited about the ability to have a city that's open to innovation and trying new programs to make sure that we've got the best fit. And I think we've got the people that are ready to make those changes.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have for years obviously seen these huge trucks, ladder trucks even going out on a medical call.
Right.
And the more nimble we can be, the better, I suppose.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I think we have a little bit of time left, and I just want to ask you, like, what are your impressions of Portland, of Oregon, coming from where you grew up in Dallas and spent the first part of your career here? You are. What do you like about the Pacific Northwest?
It's beautiful. The weather's been wonderful. The different access to the ocean, mountains. I couldn't get over how hilly and how green Portland was when I first visited. So we really feel spoiled in terms of how nature shows up here, and when we get out and take advantage of the time outside. It's been really wonderful.
Yeah, and like you said, the fall colors are awesome this year.
Amazing. Yes.
Great.
It's I tell everybody I've got a moment of gratitude just about every day when I'm driving to work, because I come through a very treed area and get to see those colors. And it's been a nice contrast to the craziness sometimes that downtown is in terms of just making sure that the day-to-day work gets done. It's
Absolutely.
a nice break.
Yeah. Well, welcome to you and your family. It's been a great conversation. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Fire Chief Lauren Johnson, we really appreciate your time.
Thank you.